Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, Tucson, Arizona's #1 online radio podcast about all things medical cannabis. Your host, Belle
and the Cannabis Kid. Our show features news, interviews, and all the latest information about anything and everything medical cannabis related in Tucson, Arizona, and the world at large.
We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call live at 646-915-8421. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on all social media, or email dhctucson@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Tumbleweed Health Center and Studio C, along with our many sponsors, for hosting our show every week. With the lowest price certifications in town, you'll find hemp products, accessories, and all things related to medical cannabis education.
Visit Tumbleweed Health Center at 4826 East Broadway Boulevard or online at tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. And remember,
Be smart
be safe
and educate.
All right, welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. Belle here. Cannabis Kid is out there somewhere in the world. I'm not sure where. We have no idea where he is ever. Well, how are you guys? Where are you guys? What's going on? Beautiful day in the neighborhood, 79 and Sunday. We are only at 96 today. Yeah, golf clap one. And I'm currently trying to get a mosquito high. Is that possible? Can mosquitoes get high? Because this little thing is just eating me alive. Anyway, welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. I bet you all want to know how many until Christmas. It's just 113 days until Christmas, 114 until it's over. Yeah. Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. Whoop, whoop. Can't even believe it is September 3rd. I know it. That's really crazy. September 3rd, y'all. Oh, well, I keep forgetting that that's going to happen. Can't start from there. No, but we're not ready for that commercial yet. We'll get there. Howdy, everybody. Open hour. Where are you? We miss you. Let's just write that. If you want to blog, you can text or chat or whatever this is called. Get on. If you go to tumbleweedshealthcenter.com, it's very easy to get to the YouTube channel that we're doing right now. And there's no tube in the U. It's just basically the U because I don't want to be seen on camera. That's how that works. Still trying to stone a mosquito over here. So let's give a shout out to Tumbleweeds Health Center and the Good League at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. Come on down, get certified. Come on down, get some beautiful hemp products. You don't even have to come down to get certified. We've offered telemedicine. And you just have to go to our website, tumbleweedshealthcenter.com, and check out the link. Check out the telemedicine section. And then there's a button that says, what does it say? It says, fill out form here. So fill out the form and we will give you a call and get you scheduled for your appointment and get you in to see our doctor and go from there. It's very simple. We send you a link. It's a Google Meets link. So we send you a link and then you click it from wherever you are. Hopefully you're on a pretty decent computer that will allow you to, have good audio, video. Oh, there's that bastard mosquito. He's not dead yet, but he's going to be soon. Man, these little things, the way they flicker around, it's so eerie. But I've got my little racket here. I'm ready for him. Come on, you bastard. If you have one of these conditions And even if you don't, you can get your medical cannabis card, and I'll explain how in a minute. But these are the conditions. One of them, PTSD, you have to be seen by your doctor. That's not anything we can diagnose. Most of these conditions you will already have been diagnosed because they're pretty serious conditions. The only one that the state gives you a lot of leeway on is the chronic pain. But PTSD, cancer, glaucoma, AIDS, chronic pain, which covers everything from arthritis to migraines, fibromyalgia, IBS, muscle cramps, menstrual cramps. Yeah, all the menstrual problems. Um, all the problems, all the pain problems. Pain, chronic pain to the state is 60 days. So you have to have had a condition for 60 days or more, and they consider that chronic. Severe nausea, seizures, including epilepsy, all seizures though. HIV, Hep C, ALS, Crohn's disease, agitation of Alzheimer's, dementia, and all the different types of Alzheimer's in between. Cachexia or wasting syndrome, severe and persistent muscle spasms, including multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, Tourette's, uh, autism, Asperger's. If you are getting um, if you don't hear your condition on the list, that's fine. If you're getting treated for something and it's causing a condition on this list, like pain, it could cause cancer, it could cause PTSD, nausea, it could cause seizures, muscle spasms, things like that. If anything you're treated for is causing that, then you can get your card for that. It's pretty cool.
If you suffer from one of these medical conditions and have been diagnosed by an Arizona licensed physician, medical cannabis may help relieve your symptoms. Tumbleweeds Health Center is Arizona's premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Are chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? Get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
All right, give us a call, 520-838-4430. You can email thctucson@gmail.com. You can come on down to 6224 East Speedway Boulevard right here in Tucson. Or we do offer telemed certification appointments, and we also offer telemedicine. What's the word? Consultations. So if you're not sure that cannabis is right for you, or maybe you've been using it for a while and you just want to discuss the results or the contraindications or any challenges you might be having with some medications you're on now, or how you're feeling or anything like that, we do offer a consultation. All right, let's see what's going on in the world. Actually, we did get, guess what? Your weed horoscopes are here for September. What's your sign? I like reading these. Let's see here. No, I'm not going to go with that. Someone offered me money for my land. I have 40 acres in Portal, free and clear. And it's still burning. I'm not sure what is still burning. And people text me. I get texts all the time. It's really weird. I don't know how. Well, I guess you can find out who owns what in the world, and then you text them. That's just about how it goes. So, horoscopes. I did find, actually, I found a video about Alzheimer's, but I do like reading the horoscope. So let's do this. We'll read. We'll get into part of the horoscopes, and then and then we'll put the video on after our smoke break. All right. So let's see what's going on here. Welcome to September, stargazers, and happy Virgo season. September brings a mellow but meaningful energy as Virgo season helps return to routines and a clearer mindset. With the sun in Virgo for most of the month, it's a great time to ground yourself, reflect on your wellness and rituals, and tend to small details you may have overlooked. Whoops. Oh, well, that was weird. Whether you're organizing your space or just lighting up and turning into your thoughts, this season supports calm focus and progress. There you go. A little bit every day, or maybe skip a day, and that's okay. There are some big shifts happening in the sky, and you might feel them more internally than outwardly. Saturn retrograde moves back into Pisces, blending structure with emotion. It's a reminder to take your dreams seriously, even the hazy ones. Meanwhile, Uranus retrograde continues stirring quiet revolutions in how we approach freedom and change. If you're feeling uncertain, take a beat. These retrogrades aren't here to rush you, just to nudge you toward honest insight. The month wraps with two potent eclipses that can shake up your perspective. The total lunar eclipse in Pisces around the full moon invites emotional release and deeper spiritual check ins, especially under the influence of introspective herbs. Later, the partial solar eclipse in Virgo brings a gentle nudge forward. Wow, there's a lot going on. Geez. And that's in your personal growth and healthier habits. These are great times to journal, reflect, or simply breathe deep and notice that what you're ready to let go of and what you're ready to begin. That's been my thing lately. Like I've been wanting to, and I have been little by little. And it's baby steps. It's just baby steps going into rooms and decluttering, getting rid of crap and just only keeping what I want. And it feels good. And there's still, like I sit in the room I'm in right now, and I'm like, there's too much going on in here. I need, yeah, see, deep breath. I need a simpler space. All right, so let's do some horoscopes, and then we'll get to a break, and then we'll have some video, and we'll go from there. All right, let's see what this does. Oh, guess what? Let's see. Did it skip to that? Flying past. Oh, there it is. All right, Scorpio. Watermelon Z. Ooh, ooh, that's my strain for the month. September brings a welcome shift to Scorpio as Virgo season lights up your social life and long-term goals. You might feel more focused on teamwork, community, or the big picture of where you're headed. This is a great time to friends or reflect on what kind of future you're building. With Saturn retrograde re-entering fellow water sign Pisces, your creative energy or romantic connections may need a second look. Don't be afraid to slow things down to understand what truly brings joy and meaning. All right. The full moon to go supports new connections and clear intentions around your place in a group or a collective. Meanwhile, Uranus retrograde continues to shift dynamics in your, I thought it said closet relationships. I'm like, and I've been meaning to clean out my closet. So that's really funny. Closest relationships, helping you see what's evolving. Maybe that is your closet. Let your guard down a bit. Genuine change often comes through openness. Watermelon Z, with its juicy watermelon citrus flavor and balanced indica leaning, which is usually what I like, high, that transitions into mellow body vibes. Watermelon Z is perfect for that solo nature week when you need and in. What's going on? Oh, out there. Couple more here. Let's see. Aries, lemon cherry gelato. That sounds lovely. Got that unstoppable Aries fire this September. Lemon cherry gelato with its tingly, relaxed, and bold lemon berry zest matches your surge of courage and energy, helping you glide through life's curveballs like work dramas or icy reunions with old friends with ease. It's like liquid sunshine in a strain, letting your natural confidence shine while you smooth out any wrinkles in your relationships to revive that spark in your social life. September invites Aries to slow down and refocus, especially as Virgo season highlights your daily routines and work habits and health. You may feel more drawn to getting organized or making small adjustments that bring long term rewards. With Uranus retrograde still in your memory zone, there may be some surprises around finances. Take it as a cue to be flexible rather than reactive. Saturn retrograde re entering Pisces asks you to check in with your inner world, dreams, and boundaries. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just listen more closely to what your intuition is saying. This month's eclipse brings key turning points. The full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces mid month may stir some emotions under the surface. It's a good time to rest, reflect, and release whatever's been draining you. Toward the end of the month, the new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo opens the door for a new beginning, especially in your work or wellness routines. Use that fire of yours to set simple goals, but don't rush. Slowing down doesn't mean stopping, it means being more intentional. And that's good because intentions are oftentimes, when you set an intention, it's a really good focus. And oftentimes we just think, oh, we're going to do this and this. But an intention seems a little stronger to me. It seems like a deeper focus. So set an intention. Right now, I was given the go ahead to do some very light exercise. So I do Leslie every other day. And I'm only doing, like yesterday, I did 12 minutes. And that was a lot because I haven't done a darn thing in 10 months. Yeah, that's a long time. Especially for me, I'm a wiggle worm. And I'm used to going out and slugging my slow jog quite often during the week, actually. But I'll get there. I'll get back there. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know. The doctor put a little fear in me last time. I have new doctors, and this cardiovascular doctor put a little fear in me when I went last time. So I'm back to being skeptical about what it is I can and cannot do. So that's where physical therapy comes in. Yay. All right. Yeah, football season is upon us, folks. Woo! Yeah. Okay. I really like football. It's just a good excuse to eat snacks and scream and yell with your friends. It's pretty awesome. Okay, what's next? We just did Aries, so we're going into Taurus. Key lime pie. What? That's your strain of the season right now. September might have you overthinking and feeling a little drained. Key lime pie brings that mellow, relaxed, tingly buzz with a citrus mint twist that helps calm the mind and soothe the soul. You're being nudged to let things flow. Lean into self reflection and not let insecurity bog you down. And this mellow hybrid gives you that gentle push to just chill and reset your mood. September encourages Taurus, not a tourist, a Taurus, to reconnect with joy and creativity as Virgo season lights up your self-expression zone. This is a good time to dive into hobbies, relax with friends, or enjoy quiet moments doing what makes you feel most like yourself. With Uranus retrograde still moving through your sign, you might feel like you're changing from the inside out. These shifts don't have to be dramatic. Just trust that you're evolving, even if it's slow and steady. Saturn retrograde entering Pisces highlights your social circles and long term goals, making this a good month to release people and plans you're keeping close. The eclipse energy this month may bring some emotional clarity. The full moon, the total lunar eclipse in Pisces, could reveal feelings around community or connection, helping you let go of what's no longer aligned. Then the new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo offers a fresh start in how you express yourself and enjoy life. Don't pressure yourself to have all the answers. Just lean into what feels right and supportive. A little grounding goes a long way. That's for you. All right, Gemini. Oh man, I don't know that Gemini needs Blue Dream. That's a little fast moving for Geminis. Twin pack there. Feeling buried under a mountain of tasks and mental chaos this September, Gemini. Blue dreams, uplifting cerebral buzz, and cozy body relaxation with those sweet blueberry bursts can help you decompress, spark gentle creativity, and give your mind a break from the overdrive. September invites Gemini to turn into inward a bit. Go inside, Gemini. As Virgo season focuses on your home life, emotions, and inner stability. Sorry, Bandit. This is a good time to slow your pace and reconnect with what feels safe and grounding. You may be reflecting on your living space or family relationships more than usual, with Saturn retrograde sliding back into Pisces. Your career and long term goals could feel a little uncertain, but it's more about redefining success on your own terms than making big moves right now. Let things unfold naturally. The eclipse energy this month may stir some deeper realizations. The full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces could highlight where you feel stretched between personal needs and professional expectations. So take it easy and listen to your gut. Later in the month, the new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo brings an opportunity for a reset at home or emotionally. It's a good time to make small changes that help you feel more settled, whether that's organizing your space or just setting healthier boundaries. Clean your room, Gemini. That's for you. Clean your room. Yes, this is Weedsday Wednesday. We are reading your weed horoscopes. Put your weed in it. All right. These are your weed horoscopes. This is Belle Star. Cancer. Strawberry banana is your weed strain for the month. I love strawberry banana. I love any banana strains. Absolutely love them. Oh, excellent strain. This September, Cancer, you're being called to shed what no longer serves and build emotional strength from within. Strawberry banana's sweet, fruity hug of a high gives you that calm, creative space to process it all peacefully. It's the mellow, balanced high you crave when the cosmic tides are pulling your heart. September brings a thoughtful, grounded vibe for Cancer as Virgo season lights up your communication zone. It's a good month for writing conversations or simply clearing mental clutter. You may find comfort in staying close to home or connecting with familiar people who make you feel heard. With Saturn retrograde re entering fellow water sign Pisces, you could feel called to revisit a belief or learning path. Just take your time and let clarity unfold. Uranus retrograde continues to shake up your social scene, but in quiet ways that help you see who really aligns with your future. The eclipse energy this month offers deeper emotional insights. The full moon, the total lunar eclipse in Pisces can bring a moment of truth around what you believe in, or highlight a shift in your perspective. Let yourself rest if things feel intense. And later, the new moon partial solar eclipse in Virgo offers a fresh start in how you share your thoughts or handle tasks every day. Simple changes in how you communicate or plan your days can go a long way toward feeling more balanced. All right. Next up is Leo. Purple haze. All right. Leo, uh, September is urging you to slow down and release old emotional baggage. And Purple Haze, with its dreamy, uplifting buzz and vivid haze of floral berry euphoria, is the perfect strain to help you unwind and see things with fresh clarity. As the Virgo solar eclipse asks you to reset your sense of self-worth and what you hold on to, this dream gives you the mental space to let go and step into calmer confidence. All right. September is a grounding month for Leo as Virgo season shifts your attention to your values, money, and sense of stability. It's a good time to check in with your spending habits or revisit a project that could bring practical rewards. You might feel less flashy than usual, but that's okay. Sometimes the best kind of growth happens quietly. With Uranus retrograde in your career zone, unexpected shifts at work may still be unfolding behind the scenes. Saturn retrograde, dipping back into Pisces, adds a reflective tone around shared resources or emotional commitments, encouraging you to pause and reassess where you're giving. This eclipse energy supports deeper insight and personal resets. The full moon, total lunar eclipse in Pisces, may highlight emotional ties or financial entanglements. It's a moment to release what no longer supports your peace of mind. Later, the new moon, partial solar eclipse in Virgo, helps you plant new seeds when it comes to self worth, income, and how you manage your time and energy. Even small steps taken with intention now can set you up for a more secure future. All right. Well, that is some of our horoscopes for the month, but you know what we always love.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
Walked into my house like, what up? I got some good pop. I'm just pumped up, got some herb from the pot shop. Ice in my fridge, it used to be frosty. My friends like, damn, that's a stone ass donkey. Rolling in the hella high, looking like it's FIFA time. Dominating on my friends as I eat some chili fries. Draped in the snuggie with my girl sitting next to me. Probably should have had a big gulp full of iced tea. But shit, it was super fly chicks. They have frozen burritos. I bought frozen burritos. I bought some Ben and Jerry's, and then I bought some Cheetos. Hello, my Maine and Obama. A couple states have just reformed their laws on marijuana. What you gonna do? Send the feds there? Hell no. The DPA's would be like, they got volcano.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome.
What you know about the science of marijuana? What you know about people suffering from glaucoma? They need it, it helps them with their condition. If you don't believe me, then just ask some eye physicians. Thank your granddad for voting for that guy. Richard Nixon is the president who made the plant illegal. But science is now showing that it's medicine for people, and the private sector's fighting to keep all of that illegal. Alcohol and tobacco, pharmaceutical prisons. I'll take those 4 major lobby groups and fight those motherfuckers. They're making money day and night, all those motherfuckers. And bribing Congress out of sight, all those motherfuckers. They'd be like, oh, it's immoral and unhealthy. I'm like, how many people are you making wealth? Anti-marijuana lobbies are making all kinds of profits, and they don't want you to stop because of all the special interest. I call that getting swindled and pimp shit. I call that getting tricked by the government. That law's hella old, so it's time to update it, regulate it, and then get it under state control. Peak game, look into my political telescope. Think it's gonna stay like this forever? Not hella won't. Not hella won't. Hey Obama, stop being a hypocrite. You used to smoke weed.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a pot shop. This is fucking awesome. Let's end the war on drugs. It's time to pull the plug. These special interest groups are nothing more than corporate thugs. Let's end the war on weed. The people have agreed. This group took these calls with bribery. Almost on some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm on looking for a blind shot. This is fucking awesome.
All right, welcome back to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. 113 days until Christmas, 114 till it's over. Don't forget your dealer. Yeah, don't forget your dealer. Come on, man. Dealers work hard. All right, thanks for tuning in to Weedsday Wednesday here. Let's see, there we go. No chatters yet. Like I was saying, you can chat online. If you go to Tumbleweeds Health Center, check out the radio link. That's tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. And there's a radio link, and or a radio section. You can go over there, and there is a link to the show. Just click it. Unfortunately, I think I didn't get the other link removed, but there's the YouTube. You can check us out on YouTube. That's where you are right now. Okay. You can also check out Tumbleweeds Health Center and all that we have to offer. We do certifications. We have consultations. If you're unsure whether you don't know if you want to get certified or not, we do consultations. And we really are focused on the education side of things. So come on down. Excuse me, and ask your questions. We've got doctors on staff Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to answer questions and get you certified. Excuse me. I had a little bit of nectarine on the break, which was absolutely fantastic. I don't know what orchard they're getting picked from, but Sprouts is picking some good nectarines these days. Holy cow. Delicious. Maybe the mosquito will go after the nectarine and not me. All right. Okay, so I wanted to see if I can find this now. I wanted to play this video. It's from a different show, actually, but it's a video with a doctor talking about Alzheimer's, and it's something that is very interesting to me. We did have an Alzheimer's specialist on the show years ago, and that was very interesting. So let's see what this doctor has to say about Alzheimer. And this is the host of this show giving him an introduction.
My name is Matt Greco. I'm the events manager at Life University, part of PSS, and we thank you for tuning in today. Today we're very lucky to have Dr. Ken Weinberg, who's coming back to give us another presentation on cannabis. He's a 3-time board-certified emergency medicine and medical marijuana physician. After finishing a residency in internal medicine, Dr. Weinberg created a fellowship in psychoneuroimmunology at the Manhattan VA, then trained in emergency medicine at Bellevue and NYU Langone. He's a cannabis advocate and an emerging thought leader who has lectured on the benefits of cannabis throughout the state, met with elected officials to promote its use, and been featured in various publications and on TV. When New York State's Compassionate Care Act was passed in January of 2016, Dr. Weinberg founded Cannabis Doctors of New York. The practice, which is based in New York City and upstate, certifies patients, educates the public, and advocates for the many benefits of medical marijuana. The advocacy, education, as well as cannabis research are also carried out in his role as a member of the Medicinal Cannabis Work Group at Northwell Health. Please put any questions you have during the presentation in the Q&A for Dr. Weinberg to answer. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Weinberg.
Thanks, Matthew. Right, so I'll just give a brief background about Cannabis Doctors and what we do. I started it in 2016, and we've seen about probably 1,500 patients in that time with a variety of medical conditions. And most recently, we're seeing a lot of patients with dementia. So I'm really happy to talk about that today. And the group comprises me, Richard Carlton, who is a integrative psychiatrist, who's great to have as part of the group because any of the more complicated psychiatric issues, I will generally give to him, who are being treated with cannabis. And then Sarah Holwile, who joined us recently, and I will say, I should change what we say because we now have a Long Island practice as well, thanks to her. She's been great to have on board because she brings her own perspective on things, and she had been a labor and delivery nurse for many years, and for the last 8 years she has been in the cannabis space and is available for answering questions and consults. So she's on board as well. And then I wanted to thank Lauren, who's going to do our slideshow, who is our patient advocate and major domo, if I may. Anyway, so that's a little bit about the group. So I always want to start, I think it's important, and if some of the people here have heard my prior talk, I apologize, but I think it's important to start out talking about the history of cannabis. Because I believe, and I'll talk about this a little more, that we've really evolved with this plant. You can show the next slide, Lauren. And there's a lot of stuff in here, but I think it's important to know that for thousands, many thousands of years, there have been all kinds of references across civilizations about medical cannabis. Oh no, I'm blocking on his name. So I'm sure that everybody knows, or most people know, Carl Sagan. He was a major proponent of cannabis, and he believes that because the plant had so many benefits, so many qualities, so many things to take advantage of, and we're talking about cannabis and hemp, which are basically brother and sister. The only real distinction is that the hemp plant has less than 0.3% THC. And, but in any case, both of them offered so many benefits that it forced us to go from being hunter-gatherers to an agrarian society. You had to be able to be in one place. You had to plant the seeds, you had to be able to cultivate the plant, you had to be able to harvest it, and then take advantage of all of the different properties that it had to, so the point is that true? I don't know, but I think it's an interesting proposition that he makes. Okay, we can move on. The other thing that I think is really important to know is that up until 1937, cannabis was part of many, many medicines that were used in this country. And here are some, old bottles, but all of them were products that were used through the medical community that included cannabis in them. And we can go on to the next. Unfortunately, there were a lot of political things that happened in the 30s. And I don't know if anyone has ever seen the movie Reefer Madness. It's, I think, one of the most amazing and long-lasting propaganda films ever made. People still refer to this. They talk about the killer weed. And the funny thing is that in the 5,000 years or so that we know about, nobody's ever died from cannabis. This is also when they started referring to it as marijuana instead of cannabis, and because it was a reference to people of color, and it allowed them to demonize it. So the Marijuana Tax Act was passed, making cannabis illegal. And then in 1970, Richard Nixon was outraged at all of people of my generation smoking roofer, as he called it. They started the Controlled Substance Act. They passed that, and the DEA went into effect, and they made cannabis a Schedule I narcotic, which means basically it has no medical benefits and high addiction potential. Along and other Schedule 1 substances are heroin, LSD, and the problem with that is that it's caused such difficulty in terms of doing research, and in addition to all of the negative images that it is maintained over all the years. I mean, just to give you an example, as an emergency physician, I have a Schedule 2 through 5 narcotics license. So I can prescribe amphetamine for you. I can prescribe opiates for you. I can prescribe cocaine for you. I can't prescribe cannabis for you. And this is probably a good place to say this. What the states have done, in New York State in particular, their workaround is that when I see a patient and certify them, I'm writing a certification, and then they go to one of the medical dispensaries, and the pharmacist actually prescribes medical cannabis for them. So that's the workaround. Okay, we can go on to the next one. So this is a typical cannabis plant. I'm sure many of you have seen it growing. And again, if you were to look at this, you couldn't tell the difference between this and hemp. They're almost identical. But in just looking at the different parts of the plant, I go back to, I read something, Pliny the Elder in 100 referenced the roots being used for joint inflammation. Industry now using the stems for building materials. Hemp rope has been around for hundreds of years. When we look at the leaves for juicing, for paper, our own Declaration of Independence was written on hemp parchment. The various things that are used by that the seeds can provide, and then the flowers, which is really where most people's interest lies. And in addition to the medicinal qualities, which I'll be talking about a lot, there are spiritual parts of it. I had read early on that when the first temple was built in Jerusalem, the priests were told to be anointed with an oil that contained cannabis. Is that cannabis? We'll never know. I have a rabbi colleague who believes that the burning bush was cannabis. And I also think that it's important because, again, all the myths and the ways this has been derogated, the pleasure part of cannabis, it's okay to use alcohol and get high from alcohol, but there's just been this negative connotation of using cannabis for pleasure. And I think that blends into what a lot of our patients see when they're using it. So many of the chronic pain patients, for example, they feel better when they use cannabis. In addition to the actual medical properties it has, people feel better about, they have a different feeling about, they're distracted. I talk to patients all the time who say, yeah, my neuropathy, I don't know absolutely if it's better, but I know I don't think about it. I don't care about it. I think that's okay. I think that helps. Anything that really can help patients with their chronic issues, cannabis can be very helpful for. So that's sort of my wrap on the plant. But I think it's important to know that the plant itself really has hundreds of different compounds in it. There are many different cannabinoids. I'll show the structures of those. The ones that everybody thinks about, the most common ones are THC and CBD, but there are many others that all have a lot of benefits. I'll mention the terpenes because they're one of the elements of it. And people may not know what terpenes are, but if you walk through a pine forest, pinene is the smell that you get. If you cut up a lemon, limonene is the terpene from a lemon. And those things are not just important for the smell, but they really are very important in the different strains have different amounts of cannabinoids, and very importantly, the terpenes. And it's interesting because smell is one of the things that I'll mention that people with dementia lose early on. And some people are doing work with terpenes to try to stimulate the cognitive issues that people have. So terpenes are very important. Okay, let's move on to the next. So again, I don't know if there are any chemists in the room, but here are the typical cannabinoid structures, CBD and THC. They all have 3 rings, and then the differences between one are like H3C in one place, and oxygen in another. But those minor changes are what really give the different properties that each of the cannabinoids have. And of interest to me is the fact that if you look at this, as you see at the end of CBD and THC, there are those CH3. There's a long, it's like a tail. If you were to look at the cannabinoids we make in our own endocannabinoid system, the system of neurotransmitters in our brain, which is why cannabis works when we take it, it looks very similar to this. And I've always been struck by the fact, and this is why I said before, I think we've evolved with the plant. And I think that's the reason why the structures, the cannabinoids, the endo inside cannabinoids we make are so similar to the phyto or plant cannabinoids that I'm showing here. Okay, we can go on to the next. And again, this is the endocannabinoid system. I just talked about this a little bit. What is we talk about a lot is the fact that probably 10% of medical schools, and Sarah and I talked about this, we don't even know about nursing schools, teach about the endocannabinoid system, and it is so important, and it's disturbing that so many of our colleagues in the medical nursing profession don't even know that it exists or how important it is. But it is so, as I mentioned, it controls so many different systems. And it's why we see it doing the things that it does. I know of no other substance that can help with pain and neurologic problems, GI, dermatologic problems, urologic problems. It's because it is the master system. And I'll just mention one other thing. When people were trying to see how cannabis worked, and they decided, oh, well, let's see if we have an endocannabinoid system in the brain. This was in the 90s. They did a PET scan, and the brain lit up so much. There were so many areas of the brain that showed that they had endocannabinoid false positive. They couldn't believe there were so many areas of the brain where there were endocannabinoid receptors. In fact, there are. Okay. So, and I'm sure people know this, these numbers, and really that most of the people we see who have dementia, the majority of them have Alzheimer's. But, and you can go to the next slide. There are so many other causes of dementia that we all see as practitioners, and I'm sure you guys see as well. We can move on to the next one. And they may have a genetic predisposition that it's been shown that 20 to 30 years before people actually exhibit outward manifestations of Alzheimer's, there are already these neurofibrillary tangles, all of the things that cause Alzheimer's are already evident in the brain. And so people really should be doing all they can to try to minimize their risk of it. And I will make a case that I think using cannabis could be one of those things early on. Okay, we can go on. So again, I'm sure most of the people here are aware of these neuropsychiatric symptoms that are that we see, and that a lot of the tests that are done or the studies that we look at these symptoms to see what is happening and any interventions, how they affect these symptoms. And again, interestingly, loss of smell is one that I'm kind of intrigued by. Okay, we can move on. So when current options for treatment options for Alzheimer's are three, two of them are here. The first one obviously is the management of the neuropsych symptoms, and a lot of times things are used like Seroquel, like Haldol, and I, having been an emergency physician, and I imagine Sarah might have something to say about this as well, I hate those drugs. In addition to just them knocking down people, they are less interactive because of these drugs. They also have black box warnings. People get sick, some people die from them. So treating antipsychotic symptoms with Seroquel and things like Haldol, I'm not in favor of. I think some of the SSRIs, because depression is involved clearly with Alzheimer's and the other dimensions, I think that using antidepressants certainly can be helpful. And then there are the symptomatic treatments. So acetylcholinesterase, the cholinergic, acetylcholine, is a major neurotransmitter that's involved with cognitive issues. And acetylcholinesterase is an enzyme that breaks down acetylcholine. That's how Aricept works. So the thought is that if you can maintain levels of acetylcholine, you can help with cognition. And I'll talk more about that in a moment. We can go on to the next one. And then there are the actual disease-modifying treatments. This is the third way of trying to treat Alzheimer's. And something that was just recently approved are monoclonal antibody injections. It's so early that I think the jury's still out on that. But then I will talk about medical cannabis products, which I think can be very helpful as disease modifying, and I'll say why in a moment. But these are some of the various ways, and we could certainly talk about that more. But there are so many ways of taking cannabis, whether they're short acting like vapes or sprays or joints, smoking products, and then longer acting products, which are the ones that you ingest, like lozenges, capsules, gummies, powders, topicals as well, which is a whole other thing. So there are many ways of taking cannabis. Okay, we can move on to the next. And I just wanted to mention this. When I came upon this quote, I thought it was really pretty profound. And I'm sure all of us are aware of this. When we deal with people we love or that we're treating, as they lose their memory, they really lose who they are. And so anything we can do to alleviate that, or maybe even allow them to regain some memory, is obviously, I think, the goal for all of us practitioners. Okay, we can move on to the next. So again, in terms of Alzheimer's, these are the things that are happening. The plaques, people must probably know that plaques which are invading the space where the neurons ordinarily would be, so neurotransmission is stopped in those areas. Those the fibrils that are talked about. There's also a lot of neuroinflammation that goes on as part of the process. So there's loss of neurons. There's an immune response that happens that's a negative immune response that causes more. Okay, we can move on. So it turns out, and I'll focus here again because I think it's so important. THC is the strongest known inhibitor of acetylcholinesterase. So there's good reason to believe that using THC can maintain acetylcholine levels, help with cognition. It also prevents the development of those neurofibrillary tangles. CBD, we know, is a great anti-inflammatory. And another really important thing that CBD does is as an anxiolytic, as something that really alleviates anxiety. And the reason I got very involved in dementia is I've been seeing a number of patients, especially at a place called Inspire, which some of you may know about. It's on the Upper East Side, and they have a very positive feeling about using cannabis. And what I've seen in the patients that I've been seeing there is a lot of certainly their behavioral issues are from anxiety. I mean, a lot of these people have lost frontal lobe function. They don't have those inhibitory pathways, and so they're acting out, anxiety-provoking situation, and CBD is very helpful for that anxiety. So we're seeing really tremendous help with those behavioral issues. Instead of using Haldol, let's say, these patients are getting high CBD products and the aggression is diminished. They're more interactive. And because I think for any of us, anxiety can really prevent us from accessing information, names, other things, even if we're allegedly cognitively intact. I think the CBD really helps there. And I have patients and their families and nurses talk to me about how some of the patients are remembering things. The son will say, wow, my father remembered things from so many years ago that he had forgotten about. So that's really so promising and great to hear. And the last thing I'll say here is that it seems that actually cannabis may help remold, may help with the plasticity of the brain. It's another way that maybe we can start getting things back. Again, because it's a Schedule I narcotic in this country, it's very difficult to do great research on it.
All right, more to come next week. Belle Star here, Cannabis Kid, out there universe. We want you to have a wonderfully safe day. As always, be smart, be safe, and educate. We love you guys. Check out tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. Get on down to 6224 East Speedway Boulevard, Tumbleweeds Health Center in the Good Leaf. We are here for you. Remember, be smart, be safe, and educate.
If you suffer from one of these medical conditions and have been